All right, so here we go. We're going to talk about factoring quadratics today. All right, and the main thing that I want to show you about factoring is that it is a process that was discovered because it makes it easier to find the zeros of a quadratic function. Now, that's a lot of stuff I just said. So the first thing I want to show you, which hopefully you saw on Monday, is something that we call the standard form of the quadratic function. This is called the standard form of the quadratic function. You'll notice we have A, B, and C, and all of those will be numbers. All of those will be numbers. Whether they're positive or negative, they'll be numbers. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is at the very bottom of your paper, the very bottom, just take like, very, very tiny amount of the bottom. I want to see, can you find the zeros for this quadratic without factoring? So I want you to use guess and check. Pick any number you want, and if you want to use a calculator, you can. See if you can find the zeros for this quadratic. So let's do one together. What's your favorite number, Ari? 20. I love it. So Ari's picking 20. Notice, where am I putting 20? In the x. So let's see. What's 20 squared?
20 squared.
400. 400. What's 20 times 7?
140.
Put those together. That was Pedro. 540. 540. Plus 12. 552. The main thing I want to know there is it 0? No. So when we plugged in 20, did we get 0? No. So 20 would not be a 0. Now you take a few minutes, pick your own numbers, whatever numbers you want, plug them in, and see if you get 0. And when you get one, let me know. Be like, I got one! Okay? Let me know. All right, so you're plugging in numbers right now, writing down the very bottom of the paper, very bottom of the paper, very bottom of the paper. Plug in any numbers you want. You're trying to find the zeros for this quadratic, x squared plus 7x plus 12. If you want it. You got one? Leslie, did you go? Okay.
Are we actually supposed to find it right now, or are we just putting in any number?
Any number you want. Any number you want. But you're trying to see, does it give you 0? So just like we did with 20, pick your own numbers. Did you get one that got 0?
Yeah.
What'd you get? What'd you plug in? What'd you plug in?
3.
I'm hearing 3. Negative 3. All right, let's see. What is negative 3 squared plus 7 times negative 3 plus 12? What's negative 3 squared? 9. What's 7 times negative 3? So what's 9 plus negative 21? Negative 12 plus 12. Woo! Nice job, Leslie. Find the other one. Find the other one. There's 2. There's 2. You found the other one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What'd you find the other one?
-4.
I'm hearing negative 4. Let's see. Negative 4 squared plus 7 times negative 4 plus 12. Let's see. What's negative 4 squared? 16. What's 7 times negative 4? So that's 16 plus negative 28. That's a negative 12 plus 12. Awesome. Now, do you guys ever want to do that again? I don't want to do that again. That's definitely way too much time. You can do this much faster by using something that is called factoring. Okay? Now, I hope, Leslie, you didn't cheat by factoring.
I didn't know we were
Leslie cheated. I repeat, Leslie cheated. All right. For my 3 subscribers. All right. So let's look at number 1. Now, you'll notice in number 1, I have a little table there. Okay? I want you to use these tables for 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm not going to require the tables as we move forward from today, but it does help sometimes to organize the numbers in your head. Okay? So the first thing I want you to do is tell me, what is the C value in number 1? What is the C value? Negative 10. Very good. A lot of students say 10, but make sure you pull the sign with it. So it's negative 10. Write negative 10 at what I call the top of the box. I know it's in the box, but the top number in the box, negative 10. Okay? Now, what is my B value? What is my letter B? Negative 3. I'm going to write that underneath where it says sum, S-U-M. Okay. So now, in the world of math, there are two numbers that when you multiply them, you will get negative 10. And when you add those same numbers, you will get negative 3. That's what I want your brain to figure out right now. Leslie? You already have them? Okay. All right. Let's see if Leslie is correct. Let's see. That was Pedro again. He's just jealous. Let's see if Leslie is correct, if she's correct. What's negative 5 times 2? Negative 10. So that works. Now again, I'm not moving on that those are the right numbers until I confirm that they also add to negative 3. Do those add to negative 3? Yes. Now, I want to be clear. Once you get these two numbers, they're not the zeros. Okay? They're not the answers. But they're going to help us with the answers. So I'm going to write down x minus 5 times x plus 2. Those are called factors. Now, hopefully, and many of you took algebra in 8th grade or maybe last year, okay? Hopefully at this point in algebra, you understand that we actually haven't changed anything. If you look at this, I know it looks different, but you should recognize it's actually the same. Okay? And here's how you know it's the same. Don't write this. Do not write it. Don't you write it. Don't write this. Okay. What is x times x? X squared. What is x times 2? 2x. Some people say x2. We're not going to see x-men 2. Negative 5 times x. And then, what's it? Don't you say the F word in my class. Made me throw my pen. Man, I'm old. I got 2 children. All right. What's negative 5 times 2? All right. Now, I told you that this is the same as that, but it doesn't look the same. Why not? What happens when you combine those like terms? So the reason I told you not to write it is because this factored form is the same as this standard form. They're just in different forms. They're the same problem. They're the same problem. Okay? All right. Questions so far? Yes, Leslie. So the F word is because I want you to try to think of distribution instead of using the F word. All right, because the F word only works when it's a binomial times a binomial. But what if I changed it to a binomial times a trinomial? Oh, okay. Then if you try to use the F word, okay. So I'm not going to be mad if you use it outside this room. Okay, just know when you're in here, you're in school, so let's not use the F word. Okay? All right. Now, everybody good so far with the factors? Now, the whole point of today, as I showed you with the first example, is I want to know what makes this 0. All right? What makes this quadratic become 0? All right? Now, there is a theorem in math. A theorem. Okay? And you actually know this theorem. Okay? Say I have this example. 3 times x equals 0. What do you know x has to be for this to be true? It has to be 0. So the idea is if I have two factors, and how are they connected? How are they connected? Multiplying, right? They're connected by multiplying, right? This times this. If I make 1 0, what happens to the whole thing? Very good. If I make this one 0, what happens to the whole thing? It becomes 0. So I set each factor separately equal to 0. All right, so let's see. What number minus 5 makes 0? 5. Very good. What number plus 2 makes 0? Excellent. So those are the zeros for this quadratic function. Now again, I would stop here. I am done. I have my answers. There are 2 of them, and they are 5 and negative 2. But how do I know if they're right? I check them. What's 5 squared? 25. What's 5 times 3? 15. What's 25 minus 15? 10. What's 10 minus 10? 0. I got 0. That's what I want. I want it to be 0. Let's check the next one, then I'll take your question. Negative 2 squared? 4. Positive 4. Negative 3 times negative 2? 4 plus 6. 10 minus 10. Those are my two zeros. Okay? Yes, Leslie.
So like for the answer, it's like x equals 5 and x equals -2. So do you want us to write them separately, or can we write like x equals 5 and -2?
As long as you write with and or with a comma, that's fine. For now, my work, I put them separately to show your brain how many answers are there.
2.
There are 2. But if you know there are 2, that's fine. You put a comma or write the word and. That's fine. The one thing I would say is wrong is students do this. Watch this. This is definitely wrong. Because this tells me it's an x and a y, and I don't know about you, but do you see a y up there? No. All right, we'll get to how to write ordered pairs. Yep, I got it, man. Okay, all right. Just like, I don't know why Pedro continues to question me. Okay? Questions?
So then we're done with that. Like that's
Number 1 is finished. Yes. So when I ask you, what numbers make this 0? 5 and -2.
So then for the table,
The table?
it's always going to be whatever number is on the top left. The factors are always going to equal to the sum.
So they have to multiply to give you the top number and add to give you the number on the right, always. If you're using the table, yes. Okay? I want you guys to take 10 minutes and try 2, 3, and 4. Just 2, 3, and 4, just this side at your spots.